Welcome to the landmark first episode of Todd's podcast. I am your host, Todd Dantzler. I hope you will join me on this new venture on which I am embarking. My goal is to let you have a little escape from the crap that you may be dealing with in your life. Hopefully have a laugh or two, let you meet some interesting folks, and learn a little bit more about them and what they do. I hope to challenge you to think a little bit differently as well. I'm going to try and stay away from the hard political stuff because that's the easy stuff to be talking about now. But sometimes some of that nonsense may creep into our show, but that is not my goal. There are hot topics of the day that may be of interest, and hopefully we can bring a little perspective and maybe a little levity to that as well without getting too preachy. A little about myself. I'm a dashing and distinguished gentleman with two incredible children, a great stepdaughter, a hilarious 2-year-old grandson. My daughter is an attorney in Orlando, and my son-in-law works with me in the real estate business here in Lakeland. My son is an airplane mechanic, and my daughter-in-law is a brand new med school student. She just finished her first year and will be starting her second one here any day. I played in the Dixie Youth Little League World Series in Winter Haven, and I served as our starting catcher. And all this happened in Winter Haven. When I was 12, I almost died in the 7th grade when I contracted a serious illness and spent a little over a month at Winter Haven Hospital. I've had 10 or 11 spinal taps. They were not fun. If you've ever had one, you know how painful and inconvenient they are. But I was fortunate, came through all that. The irony of that time that I spent in the hospital is that now I'm a trustee on the Winter Haven Hospital Board of Trustees, the same hospital that saved my life about 50 some odd years ago. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life and just celebrated my 40th year as a realtor in the state of Florida. In 2000, I was the youngest president in the history of Florida Realtors, and I lost that title to a brilliant young lady, Christina Pappas, last year. She is phenomenal, and we advanced under her leadership. I'm still active in our state association of realtors. I'm also an ATO from the University of Florida. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. My major was marketing. I was also tapped into Florida Blue Key. When I graduated, barely I might add, from the University of Florida, I came home and I helped run my older brother's successful campaign for the Florida House of Representatives. After that, I opened a sporting goods store in Winter Haven with a local tennis pro, and after about a year, I sold my interest to my partner, and I entered the real estate profession full-time with my father. I've owned a tractor mowing business, a tanning salon, that could be an episode all to itself. I've helped our family manage a retail and wholesale feed store in Sebring, and then a travel agency in Winter Haven. And that's the great thing about capitalism, is having the opportunity to start a business and try and make your mark. Some were very difficult. Others have been very successful. And all the while, I've been that realtor. I've stayed a commercial real estate broker for my whole adult life. I went to work every day as a realtor and have been successful at my profession. In 1991, I earned the CCIM designation, which is Certified Commercial Investment Member. I'm also a managing partner owner in SVN Saunders Ralston Dantzler Realty in Lakeland with my partners Dean Saunders and Gary Ralston. This podcast is being recorded and produced at our worldwide real estate headquarters in beautiful Polk County, Florida. Saunders Ralston Dantzler is our title sponsor of these podcasts, and we are here for all of your real estate needs. Just give us a call. In 2010, I decided I wanted to enter local politics. I was frustrated at a couple of rulings they made that affected my income and affected my family's business. So I decided I was going to run for the Polk County Commission. That year, I beat an incumbent county commissioner and also a future county commissioner. I enjoyed my time as a humble public servant. It was never my goal to be a full-time politician. It opened my eyes to a lot of different things and situations and how important local government is in your day-to-day life. The 2 terms I served as a county commissioner have made me a better realtor. A couple of years ago, I was also invited to become a senior consultant with Two Blue Aces, a leadership development and consulting firm with a number of very high-performing general officers who have retired from the United States Air Force. All of them are 2-star general officers. Two Blue Aces was founded by a couple of friends from high school, and they've been very generous in letting me into their inner circle. I have great partners in my real estate business. I have a great staff at the office that helps me more than I'm ever going to let them know. And I'm also surrounded by a large group of talented real estate advisors. God has truly blessed me and in my life.
Todd's podcast is sponsored in part by SVN Saunders Ralston Dantzler Real Estate. Since 1996, the firm has offered unrivaled brokerage services throughout Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. With over 90 expert advisors throughout the region, our team has the knowledge and resources to help clients realize their most ambitious real estate investment goals. When you choose SVN Saunders Ralston Dantzler Real Estate, you have access to a diverse suite of commercial and land services, including forestry consulting, land management, auctions, property management, commercial leasing, and negotiating conservation easements. If you're seeking to invest in land or explore commercial real estate opportunities in the Southeast, contact us today at svnsaunders.com or call 877-518-5263 to connect with an advisor today. Once again, that's SVNSAUNDERS.com or by phone at 877-518-5263.
From time to time, I may throw in a quote of the day or two. I'm going to try and make them interesting, topical, and insightful. Or I may find one that's just funny that I think everyone would enjoy. Who knows? The first one is, your life isn't a one-act play. What you do tomorrow or for the next 10 years does not have to be what you do forever. And that's from Bill Gates. And I think that's a great way to approach life. Try things. If you're happy, keep doing them. If you're not happy, find something else to do, because life's too short. You should try and figure out a way to be happy throughout it. The next quote is from St. Francis of Assisi. Start by doing what is necessary, then do what is possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. Another great way to enter into tough situations. Just put your head down and plow into it, and at some point you're going to figure it out and you'll be doing the impossible. I'm also looking to do a segment called What If? I want to provoke your mind to think about the world, life, and culture, and how it would be if we just asked the question, what if? Couple of examples. What if the pundits stopped talking about Trump for a month? Just think how pleasant TV would be again. And they might actually have time to report some news and educate us about what's going on in the world. It's not just about politics. What if our elected officials acted like they work for us rather than leadership? Just think of how that would change our lives. What if it didn't take so long to build a road or other infrastructure? Just think of the quality of your transportation if we could get through the process even a little bit 10% quicker. What if we checked on an elderly neighbor or a friend that you know struggling with something right now? Just think how you could change their life by just reaching out and touching them and telling them that you're there. I think it'll just make wonderful difference in their life. What if George Harrison and John Lennon were still alive? Do you think we would have a Beatles reunion? You see the Rolling Stones going on and on. I just wonder what life would be like if the Beatles were still around, if they were still producing good quality music. And what if folks in line at Publix to get a sandwich actually decided on what they wanted before they got in line? I was in line the other day, and this lady, she was reading every menu item, and she wanted every topping possible. And it's like, come on, there's 4 more people in line. So a little bit of frustrating coming out in there. I'm also looking for some music for the show, maybe even highlighting some local musicians. Who knows? If you've got any suggestions for music, send me a suggestion, send me an email, give me a call. Maybe we can figure out a way to get them on the air. So that's enough about me. I want to thank you for listening to our initial episode of Todd's podcast. I look forward to doing this on a regular basis. I can assure you I will get better at it as we go along. I look forward to trying to bring you some entertainment to kind of steer you away from some of the boring details in your life, and hopefully we'll have a good time as we go along. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Hey everybody, I want to thank you for listening to Todd's podcast. This has been your host, Todd Dantzler. If you enjoyed this episode, please tune in next time where I interview Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, where we will be discussing the life and times of Grady Judd, how he got started in the business, and some of the challenges that he's faced along the way. Please let me know what you think. As always, don't forget to rate, review, follow, and subscribe to Todd's podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you have any questions for me or any suggestions for future guests, please call or text our number at 863-288-0944 or visit todddantzler.com. Again, that's 863-288-0944 or visit my website, todddantzler.com. I look forward to hearing your questions and feedback, and please take care.